ahead and call a meeting to order. Policy and Procedure Committee, 9 a.m., Thursday, December 28, 2017. Call the roll, please.
Sure.
Here.
Bill.
Present.
Sigma.
Present.
Entertain the motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public comments. Mr. Horner.
I wrote the county board a letter last month. There's an old saying, if you don't have a solution to a problem, maybe you're part of the problem. So that's why I'm here. All of us know that when our population went under 30,000, we took a real hit. So if we can get back up over 30,000, we get back in the ballgame. And some of the things I'd like to run by you to think about is helping establish enterprise zones in Iroquois County. Here's some information about it. And there's a lot of good incentives for starting enterprise zones. And I think the county could be the catalyst to get that going with IDA. Another thing to call your attention to, the suggestion is reducing the size of the building lots in the unincorporated areas, 2 acres. What is it now? Is it still 5?
No, it's not. I thought we changed that.
Bob, can you answer the question? What's the smallest size you can build on a lot in a rural area?
Any size if it's rezoned. But if it's straight, flat, if it's zoned A1, it's 75 acres. If it's zoned A2, it's 37.5 acres. But you can rezone anything lower acreage to rural homestead to build. We've had several in the last year.
Yeah. Well, it used to be 5 acres.
No.
They got rid of
Always
that.
a misconception. It's never been that. That I've been in.
Right.
Since I've been here since 2006.
An incentive you could think about is reduce the size. Let's say it's 2 acres and it's generating like, how much is farmland an acre now? $12, $15 an acre?
Oh, it's going on the high side.
Okay, if a guy goes out and builds on 2 acres, he builds a house and it's generating $30 an acre, or it's $30 now, that's the only tax he pays for 5 years. So he's got a tax exempt for 5 years, and then the tax kicks in. You're not losing anything. It's the same revenue as you got. So in essence, you're making a mini tip. And then the size would be predetermined. So you want it to generate a minimum of $4,000 a year property tax, for instance. A good example is the Martin Addition here in Watsika. That was just 40 acres of farmland. And for about 15 years now, that's the tax has been paid. So the same amount of money has been coming in. In 6 years, TIF will kick in, and that 40 acres out there is going to contribute $355,000 a year in taxes. That's the increment that is generated. So it's quite an incentive, to get people to do it. And I think we're going to have some kind of incentives to get people to come back into Iroquois County. Another thing to think about is the Bryce landfill could be reopened, and from past experiences, that's been a real cash cow. And another thing that Russ and I have talked about several times is the Iroquois River is our best kept secret. And Iroquois County's got a lot of recreation potential. Any of you ever been to Green Acre Sportsman's Club at Roberts, Illinois? It's been there since 1969.
I live right next to it, too.
That's right. And if you want to go pheasant hunting down there, you and I can go down today, and it's $575 to hunt pheasants. They just had a program down there that it was a shoot, and they have kind of a nice B&B arrangement and you can go down there and shoot for $1,645 for a 3-day weekend. Speaking of B&Bs, there's a new, beautiful B&B on the outskirts of Danforth. And it's getting quite a play from the city. People want to come down on a restful weekend. The Iroquois River, as Russ and I have discussed many times, is our best kept secret for 150 years. And between Watseka and the Kankakee County line, there are over 300 houses, either on the banks of the river or within a short walking distance of the river. Why are they there? To capitalize on the recreation benefits of the river. And last fall in the Iroquois River, in the city limits of Watseka, a guy caught a 45-inch northern pike. He went back 2 days later and caught another one. People go all the way to Canada to catch fish, so we can get it right here in our own backyard. And it might be worth checking with the Corps of Engineers and see if there's some way that we could develop that river and capitalize on its recreation potential. Another thing along the recreation, people, guys I know, go all the way to the upper part of Wisconsin and give a guy $1,000 to sit in a tree for a weekend and shoot a deer. We got better deer right here in Iroquois County, but we have to tell them about it. There are canoe clubs that I know of that go all the way to the upper peninsula and even into Canada to paddle their canoes, and they would love, if they knew about it, the Iroquois River from the state line to Watseka. There are a lot of logs and stuff, but canoe people like that challenge. So there's a great potential for recreation if we just promote it. We've got it here, but we just have to let people know about it. Another thing that I know bothers a lot of us, people in business, if industry comes to Watseka, do we have the trained people to work there? And KCC, you know, we pay taxes for KCC, and it's right here in our backyard. I think we should be working with them to try to get some kind of a training people program so we can get our people elevated to the point where they'll be able to accommodate industry. We had a telemarketing company that wanted to come to Watseka several years ago, and they didn't come because we didn't have enough computer literate people that they could hire to run it. So there's a lot of little things like that we can do. Then finally, if every county board member went back to their district and had a coffee clutch some morning with 4 people that they handpicked from their district and sit down with them and say, give me your ideas on what we need to do in Iroquois County. There's 25 of you, bring it back, put 100 of them on the bulletin on this. Go down and prioritize. You're going to get your people involved, and you're going to get some direction from your constituents. And there's a lot of people out there I know that will volunteer if they just have some direction and some projects could be developed by the county board. You could be the catalyst. At one time, you remember, we had an ESDA unit. There was an ESDA unit in every town in Iroquois County except Beaverville, Shabance, and Boda. And every town had at least 6 auxiliary policemen in that, which was a great resource for the sheriff's office. We had 600 people that we could put in the field within 2 hours, and another 600 backup people would be volunteers. So a lot, I know from past experience, there's a lot of people out there who will volunteer and help and want to help. They just need some direction. So, that's all I have to offer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ted.
Any other public comments?
I'll be real quick. I'm John Allhands. I was elected mayor last April of Watseka. There's an issue that I've been talked with Mr. Schurer, Councilman or Board Member Bills Costanza, which I appreciate you giving me the time. I think probably not the public setting is the way to go on this, but just some background. But basically, I just wanted to introduce myself and kind of say that I'm willing to look into some of these issues that Ted mentions. I think there's some good ideas. And, I think it's all about us taxing bodies getting together and stretching our taxpayer dollars. So anything that you might have come up, would definitely be open to discuss. And like I said, we got one issue that I'd like to discuss. I don't think it's a major issue, but I think it's some. And like I said, I just appreciate all your time, Ms. Fancher, Mr. Scher, Mr. Bill. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other public comments this morning? Seeing none, we'll go on to the committee chair reports. Mr. Bills.
Oh, Highway Committee. Well, yes, been lucky so far. We've had our first snowfall, and we have no major disasters, no unknown surprises that we don't normally get this time of year. And so, meeting this month is actually pretty light on the agenda right now. We've got, working on our motor fuel tax lighting. We have an annual motor fuel tax lighting where most all the township work gets done and stuff in Iroquois County, and that is, I believe the tentative date is January 27th. Other than that, I believe that's going to be about it for the committee.
Okay, Mr. Sticknall. Okay.
Really nothing special, just the regular department head reports.
Okay. Mr. Sacy, take your report.
Well, morning all. Over the past month, just a couple of notes. The EOP was formally approved. Previously, I informed you that it was informally approved, and I got the letter, so that's done. The Illinois Emergency Management Agency is separated into regions. We belong to Region 7, and we've been without a regional coordinator since May of 2015. Well, they finally promoted somebody internally, and we now have a regional coordinator, Iris Ducey. So that's good news. I recruited one more volunteer to add to my ranks for EMA. On the 4th of December, I had to go to a meeting in Woodstock for the Emergency Management Assistant Team Committee that I'm part of with the Mutual Aid Organization. On the 13th of December, I went to Springfield for a web EOC training, and on the 15th of December, held my annual EMA volunteer holiday party. Looking forward into the coming months. On the 17th and 18th of January, I'm hosting an IEMA taught class called HC for Homeland Security Exercise and Evaluation Program. This course is a 2-day course, and it's free. And it teaches a person how to start and maintain a training and exercise program for an agency. On the 26th, I'm attending a virtual, so over the internet, tabletop exercise for Web EOC, same product that I went to Springfield twice to get trained on to offer comments on to IEMA before they rolled it out. On the 7th of February, annual weather spotter training. That will be in Crescent City at the Community Center. On the 15th of February, I will help teach a Web EOC regional training down in Urbana. And other projects I'll be working on is the execution of the EOC technology grant, which has been signed off on by both parties. And I need to put together another Emergency Management Advisory Committee meeting, try to have those twice a year. And got to start looking at revisions for the Hazardous Material Response Plan. That's what I got. Questions?
Any questions for Eric? I guess not. Thank you, Eric.
You said the new coordinator is somebody that was brought up with him?
Yes, Iris Ducey has been working with IEMA in Region 7 for
Champaign area?
yes.
Yeah, she has attended several meetings.
She has. She's been the planner trainer, and now she's just been promoted to regional coordinator. Since the previous regional coordinator left, she's been doing a lot of the work anyways. So
Sounds like a positive thing.
it is. It just took them long enough to make the change for them.
Instead of just being political while he's talking.
Thank you.
Okay, next is update on the arbitrator ruling on the telecommuter contract. There is nothing to report there. Don't know when we're going to hear anything on that. Update on the policy regarding distribution of emails and correspondence. That's something that Mr. Raymond was gonna work with Sherry Johnson on. You want her here today, so I guess we don't have an update on that. Next, we have review and approve the job description for the 911 director. You have a copy of that in front of you? This is something that was presented at the last DTSB meeting and was approved by them and was forwarded on to us for our review and approval. The main reason for that is that joint dispatch is under the auspices of the county board, and much of what's involved in here does interact or intertwine with that. So I think you'll find as you go through this, there probably are a few spelling things that can be corrected, but by and large, well, let me back up. I gave a copy of this to Anita and also to Mr. Devine. Anita's not here today; she's off sick, and I'm sure she had some comments to make about this. So probably what we're going to want to do is table this until next month. But I would like to just add in some of the things that I found in here that I think we need to give serious consideration to. And basically it has to do with the proposed telecommunicator contract. There are a number of things in that contract that we work very hard to keep in there. There's a section in the proposed contract that covers management rights. There's also a section in there that indicates that the 911 director, under certain circumstances, can work on the radio. And so it's my feeling that those things are not included in this job description, and I think they should be.
Should be broadened a little bit.
So I would encourage everybody to study this over carefully, and we can bring it up again at the next meeting when Anita is here and go forward with it.
Sounds good.
And if you need for reference, if you need a look at the proposed contract, we can arrange for you to see that also. So, obviously, we don't know when it's going to be finalized until we hear from the arbitrator, but okay, so then we got, the next item is discussing improving updates to the sexual harassment policy. Did you have anything to?
I don't have anything. I have not had a chance to really dig into it, John, so
Okay.
I don't have anything to present at this time.
Well, if I understood what I saw on that, there was something we were supposed to have completed by the middle of next month, or the middle of January?
Yeah, and essentially I'd like to adopt what they're recommending as a model ordinance on that, which incorporates all the changes that the state is recommending. So I want to review that and compare it to what we currently have. Make any changes that are necessary, just to make it all coordinated and consistent.
Is there any way we can handle it in order to get it done by the middle of January? Put it on the agenda for the board meeting?
Well, I've got a busy 2 weeks coming up starting Tuesday, with jury trials. So I've got an attempted murder case that starts January 8th, and sex assault that starts January 3.
Sounds like we're better off to think about for the February meeting then.
I think so, I'd like to. I mean, I've been shorthanded this past week, and
Yeah.
so that's why I don't have anything else done.
Okay.
because I don't have any staff.
As far as I know, there's no penalty if we don't have it done by the middle of January.
I don't think, we have a sexual harassment
Right,
policy.
I know, I think
so
there's a few things in there that they've added, I just don't
Right.
understand it, so.
they're not going to penalize us if we're not,
Right.
we wait till February.
Okay. Next on the agenda would be appointments. I'm hoping to have somebody to bring to the board at the board meeting to take Joel Moore's place on the 911 board. Joel has come to the end of his term and decided that he's not going to want to continue on. He has some personal matters that he wants to devote his time to. So we're going to be working on that. Hopefully have somebody that we have in mind by the board meeting. And then we got correspondence.
Good news.
They don't have any claims today? Okay, we can move on to old business.
Did you want to mention good news there? Did you want to mention?
What I was gonna cover under old business.
Okay.
We received a check from the United Counties Council of Illinois for $1,500, which is their policy's been that we pay our dues, and then at the end of the year, they refund it. If everything goes according to Hoyle down in their area, which they did. We received that check a couple weeks ago, and it's been deposited in the general fund.
John, this one, Lisa, does this need to be approved by board?
I don't know what you got there.
This is a collection of fees, looks like.
That's for
Oh,
Lisa
no, it's
Hines.
not yours.
Okay,
That's Lisa Hines.
It's the other Lisa.
cool.
Sorry. Does that need to be approved by the board?
That's our annual report, I don't know that it does.
Well, it
You
would
know,
go,
if it
it'll
needs
go
to be
there.
approved by the report.
I don't know what it is either.
Yeah, it's just a fee collection thing.
Fees by credit collection.
Does she
Oh.
have a report on that?
Lisa Hines.
Yeah, she should report it judicial.
Yeah.
I think that's a summary of everything that she reported to the judicial committee.
Oh, I see.
I just noticed a bunch of fees, it looks like the annual report that there's like.
Yeah, and it's a report, I don't know that there's anything that needs to be approved because we're not spending money and it's just her collecting, it's a report of her collections.
I'm sure if they send it to the judicial committee, she'll look at it, be able to tell.
She reports every month, you know, what her collections are and so
Or
forth.
the judicial sees it. The media comp thing, though, what was this all about?
Raising rates probably.
Jacking rates. Well, so not jacking our rates. We do have an old contract, you know. We get it for free.
the service down there for 911?
The original, for a lot of the cable companies to run down all the roads and stuff, they had to be franchised by the county. Anything outside the county, just like inside the municipality had to give them the right to do it. And at the same time, the contract gave special things to that individual entity. I imagine we probably won't be able to even find the original contract, since I think that was done before. I think there's been about 5 different cable companies since the original one.
Okay, sir. Take care of the old business. Move on to new business. Anyone have any new business today? Seeing none, I have entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
We're adjourned.